I'm Craig Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And today we're going to be talking about taking the high ground. So what does that mean, Margaret, taking the high ground?
When they go low, you go high.
Yeah, a lot of times when you're in a breakup, you're just so overwhelmed with emotions, anger, hurt, fear.
Yeah.
You want to get back at your ex for doing it to you, right?
Right.
And so a lot of times what happens to us is we fantasize about hurting them. Not necessarily physically, but, like they say, hurt people hurt people.
That's right. People hurt as they have been hurt, right?
And so when you see your ex out on social media looking happy, you're hearing rumors that they're doing good, or even if they tell you that, it makes you even more angry.
Yeah, how dare they be having a good time while I'm here miserable?
Yeah, like you're the one that did this to me, and now I'm sitting here feeling terrible, and you're, having the time of your life with somebody new. That's like, it hurts so bad.
Yes, it does.
So, we're going to talk about this because it's normal.
Oh, it's absolutely normal. And, we spend a lot of time saying to people, it's okay to be angry. It's normal. It's healthy.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't get out of control.
And it's even okay to fantasize it.
Oh, it's perfectly okay.
Yeah.
There'd be an awful lot more violence in this world if we couldn't fantasize. I can share one myself. When my car wasn't ready one day, I looked at the tire iron, I looked at the mechanic, and I had a good fantasy, right? But it's a good thing we can do that because it keeps us from acting on some of our stuff. So it's fine to do that.
Yeah.
Somebody told me the other day they wanted to drop somebody off the top of the Empire State Building and wait for them to hit the ground.
Ooh.
Yeah. That was a little graphic.
Yeah, that was a really specific fantasy.
Yes.
But it's normal to fantasize. Obviously,
yes,
that's where it has to end, is not acting anything out. But there are a lot of different ways you might want to think about doing it. I know that one big one is defamation of character.
Oh, so-and-so was a real creep, right?
Whatever happened in the relationship, a lot of that stuff is private.
Yeah.
Maybe some secrets going on there.
Yeah.
And so, what do you want to do? I'm going to tell your family what you did to me. I'm going to tell them that you were cheating on me.
I've heard people threaten that.
Yeah. I'm going to tell them how you acted like this, and I'm going to expose you for who you are because you are hurting and you want them to hurt that badly too.
You know what that makes me think of? I'm going to tell on you.
Yeah.
Right? Remember being a kid?
Yeah.
There was always the kid who said, I'm going to tell on you.
Yeah, there was. But it's, you want to get that revenge.
Right. You're angry and you're hurt, sure.
And it's normal to think about that. How they wronged you. You want to expose them to everybody. I wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't do it either.
Because, if you want to repair this relationship, exposing their secrets or whatever to their friends and family or your friends and family, it's going to make them look worse. And then when you try and get back with them, they're going to be like, but you said they did all these things. Why do you want it back?
Why do you want me back? Yeah, you said... Right. But it is tempting. Sometimes it certainly is. But I think you owe enough loyalty to keep what was just between you. Or
pictures. I just thought about pictures and videos.
Right,
you have graphic stuff.
Yeah.
Some people want to put it on websites or stuff like that.
And threaten that.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
No. In fact, I think there's legal issues that will come up with that.
Yes, there are.
Yeah. But, you're wanting to hurt them. You want to get back at them. You want to say mean things to them.
Yeah.
Right? You might fantasize about telling them off.
Oh, I've been meaning to tell you for years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you
What a
might
blank, blank, blank.
think about, I'm going to write them a letter. I want to send them this letter, an email about how terrible they are,
Right.
and all these things I've been thinking.
And then there was one of the tactics that Susan Johnson shared. Remember, we talked about Dr. Susan Johnson from Canada for a long time, and she shared that she had a terrible breakup one time, and the guy left her nasty notes all over the house.
Yeah.
Inside books she might pick up, everywhere where she might come across them just in the course of living in her house.
Yeah.
And she said it was extremely hurtful.
It's not going to help your chances of repairing
No.
things. It's going to make
No.
it a lot worse.
Right.
So telling them how horrible they are
Yeah.
is not going to make them want to repair things with you. So.
But wouldn't you love to? We won't take away from you that it's a wonderful thought.
Mm-hmm. Now, another big issue that you really want to think about is sabotaging their new relationship.
You mean people do that?
Yeah, they really think about it, and I could understand why you'd want to do it.
Yeah.
You know, they've devastated you, your whole world is turned upside down, you feel horrible 24 hours a day, and now they look happy on social media. Oh no, I'm going to ruin that.
Yep.
I'm going to tell that person what they're really like, or I'm going to do something to sabotage it. It's normal to think it.
Adolescents do that all the time, right? When they have that grapevine, John told Joe, who told me, who told Sally, that, blah, 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 is saying this about you and that about you. Oh, yes. Yeah. Grown-ups don't do it quite as well.
Now, the other thing is that there are some coaches that will tell you to be your ex's friend simply to stay in the background and sabotage the new relationship.
Oh, my Lord. People actually recommend that?
Yes.
Well, that verges on unethical, I think.
Well, I would say it is unethical.
Oh, my.
And it's certainly creepy and slimy to me.
Oh, creepy and slimy at least,
Yeah. I could see why you would want to do it.
Oh, let's be friends so I can sabotage your next relationship.
Yeah, because, from what I've heard, their take is if you're friends with your ex and you're around your ex, the new partner is going to get jealous of you and not going to be able to stand that you're in their life, and then it's going to cause problems in that new relationship.
Wow. I think if you're going to move on, you have to let go of the relationship and not go there.
And it's not going to help you grow.
No.
You're going to be stunted, you're going to be stuck, and you're going to be doing what I think is weak behavior.
Yeah.
Because you're not being authentic.
It's the worst kind of manipulation, which is never authentic.
Yeah. Because you're telling them that you want to be friends and you don't want to be friends. Right?
Well, yes, you do, but with a hidden agenda. Again, a manipulation.
But it's not really friendship you're after.
No.
It's a romantic relationship.
Yeah.
And so I think it's really, really slimy to try and act like you're going to be somebody's friend when you really don't.
No.
Because what are you going to do? You're really secretly trying to ruin their life.
Right.
Into getting you back. And how is that attractive?
And you can't make decisions for somebody else. If they want to be with this other person, we know they have no taste, but there's nothing you can do about it.
So I would not recommend
No.
trying to sabotage their new relationship. Believe me, chances are it's going to fall apart quite soon enough on its own.
And one of their families of origin will probably help.
Yeah. And, really, they're not over you.
No.
And even though they may act like it and life is good and they're happy, they're not really over you. Okay? So, what a lot of you guys will do is you get so much anxiety, you can't manage your internal state, how you're feeling, and what do? I blamed it on a moment of weakness. Right?
Yes.
I make excuses. I couldn't help it. I couldn't stop myself. Well, you have to maintain emotional self-control.
And what sorts of things have you done when you say that?
Well, in regards to what aspect?
Well, you called her or you tried to sabotage her. And then guys will say, well, I lost emotional control. Like, that made it okay.
Like I sent naked pictures of my ex to her best friend.
Oh, yeah.
And,
okay. I couldn't help it. I lost control of myself.
I went to her house and was looking in the window.
Yeah.
Or I was, doing something
Right.
that you knew was wrong and you're making an excuse for it.
Yeah.
Whatever it may be.
That
There's so many
fly.
different things.
You have to own it. If we do it, we own it.
Lashing out, name calling, you're
Right.
this, you're that, calling the friends and family
Yeah.
and wanting to tell them what your ex did,
Yeah.
because you're so upset. It's only going to make your situation worse.
Absolutely. It's going to make you feel guilty, too.
Mm-hmm. So take the high ground. You're going to feel so much better about yourself.
If it's over,
if you do.
it's over.
Okay? Now, sometimes what happens is you're in no contact, you're minding your own business, you're really working on yourself, you're trying to make those changes, and your ex comes back out of nowhere, and it ambushes you. You're not ready,
Right.
okay? You don't realize it because things spin out of control very quickly. An argument can escalate very quickly.
Oh, very quickly.
And all those hidden things come up, and next thing you know, it's a giant fight. So, remember, your ex can reach out at any time. If it happens, you need to slow things down, okay? Don't have the interaction going quickly, because it's liable to go out of control.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
If you take it slow,
Like
you
matches and gasoline.
can keep yourself centered. You won't expect for them to reach out, and that's important. When it happens, it's always going to take you by surprise, and your body's literally going to feel hijacked
Right.
by anxiety
Yeah.
and fear, and you're
Yeah.
going to be
Hijacked
shaking.
is a good term. Yeah.
Mhm. So, sometimes, after a breakup, your ex will have notions about who you are and what your character was. And so they may have this belief that you're going to handle it immaturely or trying to get revenge or do these things. And when you take the high ground, it shows a higher character.
That's right.
And integrity.
Yep.
Because I've had people that weren't able to do this and it blew up in their face. And it happened, I remember so succinctly for one woman that I talked to, where she had a lot of anxiety, couldn't control herself, kind of blew up at the guy, and instead of fighting back, instead of arguing, instead of doing anything, he just said, well, there you are.
How powerful.
Yep.
Right?
Talk about having to sit with that.
Yep.
There you are.
Yep.
That's you. Whew. It hit her like a ton of bricks.
Well, good for her. She was ready to look at it, and she did understand what he said to her. And what he said in one line is, "This is who you really are."
Yep.
Wow.
And you can imagine what it would feel like if somebody did that
Wow.
to you. Very exposed,
Yeah.
right? Vulnerable and probably ashamed.
How did she feel after talking about it?
Well,
feel better?
This particular woman had a lot of trauma in her life in regards to her family.
Yeah.
And so I think she's been dealing with so much, and it was so unfair, all the things that happened to her. So that's why she had such a struggle with her romantic partners.
Sure.
And so, we were talking about that a little bit, where you were saying, a lot of times the anger that we have towards an ex is really directed towards a parent.
Absolutely. And I had a very clear instance of that this week. I don't want to give details because I don't want to give anything away. But a person found herself with an ex who did exactly the same thing to her that her mother had done. Okay? Now you want to talk about that anger? This woman was fit to be tied. However, when she was reassured that anger is normal, natural, and not evil, she seemed to feel considerably better. Mm-hmm. Anger is a legitimate emotion. It's how you handle it that counts.
Yeah.
But if a partner taps into an issue you already had with a parent, and remember, chances are your partner in some way resembles your parent. That's why we're with them.
Yes.
That certainly can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I have said to people I've seen in therapy, if I do anything that reminds you of your mother or whoever else abused you, you stop this conversation and you tell me that right off the bat so we can take care of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So as you can see, you know, when you're going through a vulnerable place like a breakup and you're hurting, it would be normal to want to get back at your ex, get revenge on them, hurt them, punish them.
Yeah.
And especially if they hurt you in a way that your parent did, then it's going to feel explosive.
Yes.
But do your best to get out of the situation and take the high ground.
Right.
Because you want to feel good about who you are. And for those of you that have already made these mistakes, there's nothing you can do about that now, but learn from it and try and
learn
grow.
from it. Yeah, mistakes are okay. We all make them. The
Own it,
idea is and when you're looking at a partner, you know, always look at, can this person own their mistakes?
Yeah.
And if they can't, the other direction is sometimes a very good decision. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so hopefully you found this helpful. Of course, if you want to get our help personally, just go to my website, askcraig.net. Sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. I do email coaching and I do Skype. Margaret is also available for Skype coaching.
I'm available. I can get you in fairly quickly now. I've caught up a little.
Remember to subscribe to the channel. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And we will talk with you soon.